Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious Greek-style chicken and potatoes recipe with good macros, and on top of that I'm gonna show you how to tenderize meat with a very simple trick and how to make an authentic tzatziki dip that you can use for a lot of more recipes. So first things first, here I have a chicken breast that weighs 200 grams in total. So what I like doing is slicing the breast lengthways into about 2 cm or 1 inch thickness and then stack them all up on each other and cut again into bite-sized cubes. That way you can season more surface area with aromatics, which will lead to a lot more flavor. Now for this specific dish, I'm gonna toss the chicken into a bowl and then start with adding 4 grams of olive oil, a strong pinch of salt, 10 cracks of black pepper, a quarter teaspoon each of oregano, rosemary and garlic powder, and finally a squeeze of lemon before mixing until everything is combined. The marinade here has 2 functions. One is flavoring and the second, and that is why we added the lemon, is to tenderize the meat. And the cool part is that it is completely enough to let it marinate for 15 to 30 minutes. That is enough to already taste a big difference in the chicken and getting it a lot more tender, so just set it aside for now. Moving on to the side dish, and here I have 300 grams of potatoes. I will leave the skin on for this recipe, even though it's not really true that most of the fibers in the skin, there is still some fiber, so that's a benefit. Just simply slice the potatoes in half and then, kind of like with the chicken, slice them up into wedges and then halfway through the middle once, and then repeat with all of the potatoes. So they will go into a bowl now, followed up by 4 grams of olive oil, and then I will give them a shake so they are all coated with an oil film so the seasoning can stick, and this also leads to a more evenly distributed browning. I will only add a strong pinch of salt for now and mix it through. All other seasonings I'm gonna add after baking. So you can either put them now in a baking sheet and bake them in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 F for 20 to 25 minutes. I, however, like to pull out my air fryer for this, set it to 200 degrees Celsius or 400 F as well, let it heat up for 3 minutes, and then air fry the potatoes for 20 minutes. Halfway through, I also like to give the potatoes a thorough shake so the potatoes can crisp up a bit more evenly. In the meantime, I'm gonna prepare a tzatziki that you need to try. The base for this is Greek yogurt. Now, Greek yogurt exists from fat-free all the way up to 10% fat. In general, more fat equals more calories, less protein, but also more flavor. In my opinion, the 2% fat one is the GOAT. However, all of them work the same. So scoop out 100 grams of Greek yogurt and add it into a bowl, and then place the bowl on a scale and add in 2 grams of olive oil, a small pinch of salt, and now the recipe needs an acid. Most people use a squeeze of lemon here, which is totally fine. However, the more traditional tzatziki uses white wine vinegar. Either way, I'm going to add 5 grams into the bowl. Then take half a clove of garlic, add it through a garlic press or microplane, a small bunch of finely chopped dill, and you can add a piece of cucumber as well if you want. However, if you do, I recommend doing the following. Cut yourself a piece, this weighs 30 grams, and grate it finely with a box grater. Then prepare yourself some paper towels, add the cucumber in, and squeeze it so all of the liquid can come out, which you can then throw away. If you skip this part, all of this liquid will end up in your tzatziki and make it watery. So, add the squeezed cucumbers into the bowl and give it a good mix, and this tzatziki is so good, please give it a try. For the chicken, heat up a pan to medium heat, toss in the chicken, and sear one side for 90 seconds before giving the meat a flip and searing the other sides for 90 seconds as well. That is completely enough since the chicken is thinly sliced. At this stage, the potatoes should be ready, so toss them into a bowl and now add seasonings. I will stick to similar ingredients like the chicken, with 10 cracks of freshly cracked black pepper, a quarter teaspoon each of rosemary and garlic powder, and then mix. I stopped seasoning potatoes before adding them to the air fryer because, in my opinion, the air fryer simply burns the aromatics to the point that you don't taste anything anymore, and adding them afterwards fixes the problem. So at this stage, everything should be ready, so take yourself a plate, add the chicken, then the seasoned air-fried potatoes, and finally your tzatziki. And this is such a delicious Mediterranean-style meal. Flavorful potatoes, very tender chicken, and a super creamy tzatziki. And the macros are really good as well. 657 calories and 62 grams of protein. These types of recipes help me and over 10,000 people lose weight and keep it off. Why? Because I specifically make sure that they taste delicious, are filling, and have great macros. And online. I created a cookbook with over 250 recipes like this one, from breakfast to lunch to dessert, pizza, burgers and cheesecake. You buy it once and you get all recipe updates for free. The link is in the description.